Hello, guys. It's me, Butterfly Spirit 314. So, guys, today's November 5th. I don't know about you guys, but today is election day. I know many of you guys in the US are out voting. I went out and I voted. And I have to say, like, it was an experience, but, it's raining here. So, I definitely would say that it would have been nice if it didn't rain, but you know, at least I didn't have to wait in super long lines like a lot of people who did the early voting did. So um, that's a good thing. I was kind of in and out and stuff, and the people were super friendly at the voting place and stuff. It was really nice to get a chance to just like for the people to be nice and for it to be like be a pretty seamless process. I heard from people at work that did the early voting that there were like long lines, like people were standing outside and it was crazy, people outside in lawn chairs. When I got to the place that I went to vote at, I heard that people were basically, a lot of people were there early, like at 6 a.m. voting and stuff like that. But luckily, I got to take the day off at work and everything. And well, I worked half a day. I didn't take the whole day off. I got to work half a day because um, the ceiling in my kitchen is leaking. So there's rain leaking through the roof. So um, I got to leave work early so that somebody can come and take a look at the roof. So that's a good thing. But what's not good is that where it's leaking in the roof, it's cracking. So it's cracking in different directions. And I got like a bucket catching the water. So um, it's probably going to take a few days before they're going to fix it, but at least it's going to get done. And there's been like an animal in the roof too. So the animal might have contributed to that, with the animal scratching around up there. So, guys, the title of today's video is What You Say Matters. So, guys, I just started taking notes on my new book, which is The Dance of Connection. Okay. I wanted to say The Dance of Anger, but I finished that book. But I actually did take some notes on that book. So I did that this morning and stuff. But I decided to start taking notes on The Dance of Connection. So this book here. So basically, in this book, I'm currently on page 44, and I'm in chapter 4 of this book. So I'm making some progress. So in chapter 1 of this book, there is a line in this book that really encouraged me to make this video. And this like line in this book was so like it was so hard hitting to me that I felt like I wanted to make this video because it makes a big difference. And this is something that I never really thought about, really. And so I'm gonna tell you guys what the line of the book says. Um, so um, so basically, the line says that how we communicate determines whether we want to come home or stay away at the end of the day. Now, the reason that is so hard hitting, and I kind of changed a couple words in there because, I'm just making it easy. I don't want to do it word for word, but yeah. How we communicate determines whether we want to come home or stay away at the end of the day. That's a hard, I'm going to say, that's a hard fucking hidden line right there. Because I never really thought about that. Because there's been times where I would say I was kind of difficult, to be honest. Um, but I realize like how we communicate does matter. Um, I can say openly that what we say can make a difference in how a person can think that we feel about them. Um, and I think that many of us may do this. Many of us we may find that we say things to people and we may not think anything of it. Like when we're angry, we may do what's called riding the wave of our anger, essentially, or riding the wave of anxiety. Most of the time, it's we riding the wave of anger. And when we're going through anger, it can be easy for us to say things about people. Um, we may curse at them. We may say, we may insult them in some way. And when we're wrapped up in anger, a lot of times we may not think about it because we're overrun with that emotion. But what a lot of people don't know is that before you get to anger, the thing is that we have underlying emotions before we even make it to anger. So if somebody makes you sad, if that sadness continues and you add some anxiety to that, you can become angry. If you're embarrassed and then somebody, says something that just pushes you to the limit, then you'll get angry. Um, there's a lot of paths to anger. And just because somebody is not yelling at us doesn't mean that they're not angry, because they probably are. And people express anger in different ways, and it can make a difference in how we carry ourselves. Um, the line basically of how we communicate determines whether we want to come home or stay away at the end of the day. I feel like this line is making me think about like the fact of like, how am I showing up in relationships with people? Because, this is family, friends, or coworkers, or even just strangers in general. Many of us don't think about the fact that we may push people away, and sometimes we may think that that person's just going to suck it up and stay around because they've been around us for a long time. And so we think they're going to stay. But from what I've learned from seeing family interactions growing up, in my family, it can be common for people to have a disagreement and then not talk to each other for years, all because of a disagreement, you know. And for those of you watching, you may have someone that you live with. This could be your significant other, this could be a sibling, this could be a friend. You might even be rooming with somebody, um, and whoever it is you find yourself around, we all have the power to determine how it is that we're going to show up. Okay. And what we say to another person can make a big difference. It can. We can push people away. And some people may give you only one chance. Some people may give you multiple chances. But it all depends on that person and how much they care about you, you know, because strangers, you know, if you have a disagreement with a stranger, they probably don't care. You'll never see them again. But people who are in our lives, like our family members, our friends, you know, our significant other, you know, their tolerance could be different. And I think that many of us may take that for granted. I know I've taken it for granted. Um, but at least I am honest enough to show up and speak about that, you know, and say something about that, you know. And, you know, for me, as I work on myself, I feel that, you know, at least if I can be like transparent with you guys and be like, hey, you know, I've shown up and I've did this. You know, being vulnerable with you guys lets you know that, hey, it's okay to be vulnerable. Because a lot of times, most of us, like, we walk around and we don't want people knowing our business. We don't want people to think we're weak or that we can't handle stuff. You know what I mean? So the reason I shared this line about, you know, how we communicate determines whether someone wants to come home or to stay away from us means that we, you know, we should think about how we treat people. I am going to think about more about how I treat people and how I connect with people. You know, in my family, like I said, I've seen people in my family, they've, you know, had disagreements and they won't talk for years. And some people, you know, they may not even make amends with people, even when it, you know, even when it comes around to the person's funeral, you know, and that's tough. And for many people, it might be pretty sad to hear that. But, you know, in your family, it might be different as to how people handle conflict, you know, and that's just one of the things in my family, you know. But the thing is, guys, that, you know, what we say matters. You know, whether somebody is around us or not, it matters, you know. And I think if we consider another person's point of view and not just our own, it can actually help us to, you know, it can help us to like deepen our relationships with people, you know, rather than like running them off because you never know another person's tolerance. Okay. You never do. So um this definitely gets me thinking. And like I mentioned earlier, I just started taking notes on the Dance of Connection book that I'm reading. And I feel like that line is definitely going to stay with me, you know, definitely is, you know, it definitely will, you know, but like every one of us is human. We all are. And it's not like we can't make a mistake and stuff because we do make mistakes. But the thing is, do we learn from it is what makes the difference. For me, I'm learning, you know, and I'm pushing through to learn new information because I want to change my interactions with people and, you know, let people know that I'm somebody supportive that they can be around and, you know, trust and, you know, a person that, you know, can be understanding of them, you know. And so that's just what's going on with me. But anyway, you know, what do you guys think? You know, for those of you who happen to come across this video, whenever it is, you know, tell me what you think, you know. Um, and just know, like, hey, if you make a mistake and you push somebody away, you know, don't just give up on that person and think, oh, I can't do something or whatever, like, whatever. No, you know, if that relationship matters to you, then, you know, nurture that, you know, and don't just, you know, throw in the towel over something because you never know. You know, people come in our lives for a variety of reasons. And, you know, sometimes it's to teach us things. And, you know, and that's something that I felt makes the difference. And you know, I'll be doing more videos about like any like quotes that I learned about in this book and stuff and things. So thank you guys for tuning into this video. Like I said, I know many of you guys are out here voting. If you're in the United States, probably out voting, you're probably at work and stuff. I just appreciate you guys watching the video whenever you happen to. So thank you guys. Bye.